I think in the interest of time, we will go ahead and get started this morning. I'm Stacy Dawn with the Clear Lake Area Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for coming to our December quarterly coffee. I had some really great updates typed up for you guys this morning, and I left them at my office. So I'm going to wing it, which is probably better anyway. The first thing, most important thing, today is National Answer the Phone Like Buddy the Elf Day. So everybody, this is Buddy the Elf. What's your favorite color? You're all prepared now. So you can answer the phone appropriately when you get back to your office this morning. I just wanted to say that we did this quarter launch our Lake Leadership class. We actually have quite a number of our Lake Leadership Committee and participants here. You guys want to stand up? Crystal's like, no. So we've got a ton of our Lake Leadership participants here this morning. In October, we held our first full day session, and we did a banking and finance and economic development day, complete with airplane rides, thanks to Andy Meyer and his crew. And then in November, we had Education Day, where we toured both schools, Clear Lake Community School District and Nyack. And then just on Wednesday, we had our Health and Wellness Day, and it was a little bit of, the weather was pretty concerning on Wednesday, and the landfill closed, so we didn't get to do our tour there, but for the most part, we got most of our tours in, and a couple extra tours we weren't planning on. The days have been going great. The class is wonderful. I'm really looking forward to how this class of students impacts our area going forward, because they're engaged and they're excited about the process. And so if you're interested in Lake Leadership or haven't taken it before, we kick off every fall, and we will start to take names as soon as people are interested in signing up. I'm trying to think what the other thing was that I was going to talk about. Lake Leadership was the big one, making sure you guys answer the phones appropriately today. Oh, we did announce our annual meeting date. So January 25th, we are having our annual meeting. The location is to be determined, but we'll be sending out ticket information here pretty soon, and then we'll be opening our portal for you guys to submit potential nominees for awards. So other than that, I just want to say, as we wrap up 2021, it's crazy. We talked about how 2020 was the longest and the fastest year ever. I think this was just the fastest year ever. It's hard to believe that it's December. We're very grateful for the support of our members and our partners, and I know I'm very grateful to work alongside a pretty awesome team. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Doug and let him give an update on the school. And you can use the podium or stand however you feel most comfortable.
Thanks. I always type up notes and I hardly ever follow them, so it doesn't really matter on that. So I think I just talk too fast and get rolling, but I just really want to take an opportunity here to just thank the community of Clear Lake, the businesses, the people here. I can't believe it's now my 6th year that really have allowed me to serve this district. It's just really been a true blessing for me to be able to do that. I get an opportunity to work with just a fantastic group of educators here at the school that give their heart and soul to these kids. And they truly do believe and do and work the mission statement, which is to ensure a high level of learning for all students. They believe that in their hearts, and they work every day. We truly believe that if we fail one child, we failed that family. And they work really, really hard to that. And parents entrust us every day to take care of their most prized possession, their children. And we really, really work hard to do that. So it's really huge for us. We're in the middle of working on our next 4 to 5 year strategic plan. We've got some community members involved in that, along with the school board, some teachers. We're kind of getting to the end of that first one that we put together, which I'm happy to report, and I think what we've accomplished has been really, really good, and really looking forward to the next 4 to 5 years on that next plan. We've over the last 5 years, our enrollment's up. Our open enrollments now, we have 255 kids that open enroll into Clear Lake from another district, which is really impressive. We're in the best financial shape that Clear Lake has ever been in. We've added a computer science program, and this year we've actually expanded that to cybersecurity, which I think is a really, kids are absolutely loving that class. It's really neat, and it's an up-and-coming area. We've added an Ag and FFA program, which is growing tremendously. PLTW, which is Project Lead the Way. We've got the launch program. We've expanded into the middle school. We've got the PLTW Biomed at the high school now. We're now added a second program on that. Kids really, really like that. We have 2 apprenticeship programs, one in general construction and one in welding. We're looking right now to add a computer science or an IT one. That's probably going to start here in January, February. And I just met with another guy about a possible additional one. So we're continuing to look at those opportunities. And the reason we look at that, and I don't know if you have watched some of the things that Emily Hill has been putting on Facebook. I wish I could have just put a projector up here and put those videos that Emily's, because that's the best thing. I mean, if you ever want to look at really what's going on in our school, go to Facebook or our website and pull up some of the videos that Emily Hill has been putting on there with our kids, because that's really truly what it's all about, to see what these kids are doing in our classrooms. And the latest thing she was working on was the girls that we have, females in the industrial tech program at the high school, and how that's flourishing. And that actually, that article is picked up by the Associated Press. And so it's went national, and it's really kind of a neat and unique thing, because we really truly believe that every child has a gift. Okay, they're all different, and everyone has one. But as a school district, our goal is to really figure out and find out what is that gift that every child has, and then really try to expand on that gift and get them to really keep moving forward with that gift, so they can go beyond high school and continue on with that gift. So we're really excited about that. We passed an $18 million bond referendum, which was kind of neat. The projects are really going along really well. Yes, we've hit some delays, like a lot of people have, but here's what I would say about that is, it is what it is, but at the end of the day, when these things get done, I will tell you this, it's going to be well worth the wait. When the Wellness Center gets done and when the vestibule area gets done, yes, they're frustrating, but it's going to be fun. So I guess the last thing I would say is wish you guys all a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Thank you so much for everything you do for Clear Lake. We could not do the things that we do at our school without this community, and we really do. It's a true partnership with the community and the school district, and the support that you give us is fantastic. So thank you very much, and have a Happy New Year.
His talk of videos reminded me of the one other thing I wanted to share. If you are on Facebook, you likely saw Rachel and I in ridiculous elf hats scurrying around Clear Lake to about 40 different locations. Those videos have garnered over 80,000 impressions, somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,500 likes, and another 100 and something comments. So they really did what we intended for them to do, and that's to bring awareness to maybe some stores around our community that people haven't been into. I've heard a lot of people trying to go get the coveted Adirondack swirl chair at the Basic Burner, and they're sold out, guys. I'm really sorry. But that's just a good reminder to shop local, guys. You know, shipments are late from all of these online retailers. Well, you don't have to go online. You can just go right into our stores here in our community and buy your Christmas gifts. So with that, up next, I believe we have Nelson Crabb, our mayor, who is going to give an update on all things Clear Lake. Should I take your notes?
Thank you. And I'm not supposed to march around or I'll get scolded because they can't catch me. Can you hear me, Mark? All right, good. You know, I believe that we spend way too much time wandering around the community, wandering around the area, and we nitpick, and we come home and we say, why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? And so this morning, I'm going on the positive mode, and I'm calling this my economic positive momentum talk. And I think that's where we all should be, need to be, and I think we are in this community. So this, what I'm going to talk about now, sorry, I moved a step, didn't I?
You're good.
But is what occurred in calendar year 2021 in our town. I call them business milestones. All right, some of this you've heard, some of you haven't. I'm going to go pretty fast. The Marriott Fairfield Hotel, 85 rooms, an event center, and I guess the fire department were the first to use that event center. They had their Christmas party in there the other night. Now they're training in there now, so that will be opened almost momentarily, I do believe. The Racca building out here and their business, they have aerial lifts. That's all new. And everything I'm talking about here occurred this calendar year. Greenlee Industries, they bought the 5-star co-op building between exit 193 and Main Street on the east side of the interstate, and they will be distributing corrugated cardboard packaging. Now stop and think, who's in Des Moines? Amazon. Who's in Minneapolis? Amazon. I won't say any more. Old Dominion Distribution Center out here in Parkway Place. That's new, finished, $5 million. They're not operating at the present time yet. Starboard Retail Development, Mike Momberg, a 5 retail building, no businesses in there as yet. That's just south of the Marriott Hotel. 173 Degree Distillery. That's a new building going up downtown on First Avenue North by the Summerfield. Uncle and nephew both have their doctorates. One's an MD, one's a PhD, so you can imagine that whiskey. North Iowa Tire, Dave Neiman, expanding right behind over here. They ship out every day 8 semi-loads of tires that have been placed on wheels, some even going to Canada. Titan Pro SCI. Now I throw that in because they have just been here 10 years, and we gave them an incentive up to 10 years. And now they are here. So that incentive really worked because they are a great growing business here in Clear Lake. Pritchard Businesses, Joe Pritchard and his family. They've got a little bit of everything, I do believe. They've got lots of car dealerships. They are renting vehicles across the nation, and they have talked with us recently about electric vehicles being kind of coordinated right here in Clear Lake. We have another new Quick Star. I think there's going to be a Quick Star in every corner here shortly, but they are a great place. I even went there once and brought my better half a Sunday chicken meal, all for $12. The new Hy-Vee store, which you see moving Charleston and moving dirt out there now. We've been after that for years and years and years, and now that's on the go. You see the ad on Channel 10 every morning in the middle of the street. You know that one that goes over and over? That's a Hy-Vee ad in there. It will be here on 6.4 acres. That is a part of the Emerald Edge commercial property going up right there that will parallel Highway 18 from North 20th, right here, up to North 14th, and there will be 9 lots in there. The first lot, of course, will have Hy-Vee. That's to look forward to. We have the Wellness Center that is just about complete. And if you want a membership, go to their website, get it, or give it as a gift card to some member of your family or a neighbor. That is going to be fantastic. $12 million, I do believe, is there, passed by 70% majority in this community. What a great community we live in. Cannot forget Main Street retail businesses in the downtown. 15 years ago, Paul Stevenson, Nelson Crabb, Scott Flory, Mike Finnegan, that time was publisher, editor of the Mirror Reporter, and the chamber president at that time. We went poaching. We went to different communities looking at businesses we thought would fit on Main Street. Now those windows that were empty are entirely filled up, and it is really hard to get a place to either rent or buy on downtown Main Street. That is a real win for this community, because that is our Norman Rockwell area, as I call it, and it is Clear Lake right there. Page 2. Okay, in support of all that, here are our business partners and leaders that I feel are very supportive of what I just said. Clear Lake Tel, family owned, state-of-the-art telecommunications. Dean Snyder Construction, nationally recognized, a family ownership, as is Clear Lake Tel, family ownership. Kingland Financial Systems, that's global, family owned. McKesson Pharmaceutical Distribution, boy was that a coup when we got those people to come in. Number 5 on the Forbes list of companies in the United States, I do believe, globally. You know, that's a long history to that one, because it took a lot of, shall we say, financially, how are we going to work that in with our small town? What a coup it was to get that. And I asked them after we had that coming here, what caused you to come to Clear Lake? Well, of course, they mentioned the interstates, they mentioned the railroad, they mentioned the airport. But the lady who has now since risen to the top, almost the top of the heap of McKesson in Dallas, Texas now, she said, well, Mayor, we were here long before you knew we were here. And it's your culture. Your culture is the reason that we're here. Now you say, well, she was just saying that to make you feel good, Crabb. No, that's what we have. That's what we thrive on, is our culture. We have Pritchard businesses, family owned. I just talked about that. So we have Yonko businesses, family owned. Yes, we have Serta, and on the back of that, some of those mattresses says, made in Clear Lake, Iowa. These are those that are very supportive and great leadership in this community, which helped what I read to you to begin with, the reason why we have such a good culture. Nonprofits that are also very supportive of us. The Surf, a national landmark now. North Iowa Central Gardens. At one time, some of you, excuse me, remember, that was Central School, that was junior high. I happened to teach in both of them. They both burned. I don't know what that says about me. But Central Gardens came up from that rubble, and how beautiful it is. 2.75 acres in there. Everybody from the United States, I think, has come there at one point in time. That's, you know, from every state anyway, and even foreign countries. That's just, if you haven't been there, you need to go there. The Art Center. Believe me, in a town this size, not too many people, not too many cities have an art center as good as that one. Veterans Golf Course, that was in trouble. The city purchased it. It's now run by a nonprofit, 501c3 if you will, doing very well. Sure, they don't have to pay taxes, but they're making some money out there and really kind of providing a service to those of us that love golf, and it's there. One Vision, you know, used to be, and I think maybe still is, Mark. I used to have this memorized that there were 650 employees. Our largest employer was One Vision. It may still be, or even more. But what a support they are to our community. It's about done. It's not possible to do without this. All of our city departments, just think of our public works the night before last. I know some of them were out 2 o'clock in the morning cutting trees that have fallen across various streets. And it was really bad out there by Baker's Corner and south through Highlands and so on. That was nasty out there with those telephone poles hanging across the interstate. Those guys were out there working to clear things up, you know, so that Alliant trucks could get to where they needed to be. Great, great, great bunch of people working there. At Clear Lake PD, there's not a better organized PD that I know of in a town our size. Clear Lake Fire Department, headed up by longtime Chief Doug Myers. A great bunch of citizens are there. Public Water Department, 3 guys that all are licensed to the nth degree that you can be in a licensure for water department technicians. Library, a brand new librarian. What a great library. People that come in the summer say, my, you have a wonderful library here. Parks, we have a new park director. Recreation staff, we'll rearrange that and include Adam Long and Mary Jo Verba, our new people that are, excuse me, helping out in the Wellness Center. You know, nothing would happen in this town if it wasn't for lake restoration that we did. Started in the middle 1900s, picked up around 2005, where a bunch of us all would go back and forth to Des Moines, asking them to help us. We finally got $9 million from them. The city threw in $2 million. The county threw in $1 million. I believe Ventura threw in $200,000. Private donors threw in $1 million. We got that lake dredged. We now have a watershed director who is under our employ. The city, helped out by the county, helped out by Ventura to help manage all that. We must continue to restore and maintain that lake, or we wouldn't be the town we are today. We would just be another town in the middle of corn and soybean fields. That'd be it. We have that lake. It's gold, and we must continue on with the support of that. There isn't a better school system for a town this size around. Academically, does very, very well. Career and technical education internships now, something new. We need that because that's where employees are in great demand. This FFA program, leadership, actual leadership. Remember, all of us had to take Speech 101. That was a part of getting through, what was it, sophomore English? And then second semester, I don't know what you did, but you know, you all got up there and stood and you were scared to death and you were shaking and so on. FFA, that's a part of it. And you go to state and you go to national and you learn how to become a leader. It's not just agriculture. And the athletics, you can't beat them. You can't beat the athletics. Look at basketball, men and women right now, boys and girls right now. You look at the wrestling, you look at what happened this fall, you look at what's been going on at Lions Field under Doug Gee's leadership. Look at the Wellness Center. It's the greatest. Chad Schreck, who's going to talk at you here and ask you, to you in a little bit from the North Iowa Corridor. Great support. We need Chad. And Chad is a great help to us. There's nobody better to work with as far as I'm concerned, the city, than the Chamber of Commerce. Dear Stacy and her crew down there work constantly, day after day after day, always looking for positive momentum and making sure that it's there. We are so glad that we, as a city, are connected to them. And that's a part of a successful town. There's one person who's not here this morning. He slipped out somewhere or never got here. But the reason we have all of those businesses that were new this year, it's not because of the city council, but it's because of the skill in financing, negotiating, knowing what legal protocol is, and how to sell this town, and that's Scott Flory, our city administrator. He knows how to deal with major development firms across the country. Huge firm out of Phoenix were the developers of McKesson. You had to work with them first. Embry Development out of Texas, and another one of their partners is in Oklahoma. Hy-Vee. You have to work with them. They don't wait on you. You need to go to them and be prompt and have answers in your head. Not to say, well, I'll get back to you. No, that doesn't work. They're gone. Scott Flory knows how to do that. This town wouldn't be what it is. It wouldn't be what it is. The council can pass things. That's easy to do. But he's got, don't tell him this, his head is big enough now. But he's good. He really is good. Hey, we all have to trust the process. Now, I know Tisdall uses this, Troy uses this word all the time with these football players. But I heard it way back in 1987 sometime. I was at some conference over at Okoboji, and when we left, everybody said, trust the process. Well, stop and think about that. It's not the product, but it's the process to get there. Whether you're on a football team, a basketball team, whether you're individual wrestling, whether it's a school district, a city, trust the process. Hey, I'm very, very proud to be the mayor. Have a great holiday and a Merry Christmas. Be safe.
All right, you need next. All right, well, thank you, Nelson. The one name you forgot was Nelson Crabb. In that long list, the leadership you provide and just the support and the positive energy that you bring to this community is so essential to all these great things that are happening. So just a pleasure to work with Nelson and the team, and I'm really glad you keep such a great list of all the things that are happening, because it really is incredible when you stop to look back at the last year, what we've come through, right, with the pandemic and everything else. Just the stability, the safety, the support in this community to come through that kind of thing and really, I think, be stronger than we were when the pandemic started is pretty awesome testimony to all the things Nelson just touched on. All the people that make this place special. It's such a joy and a pleasure and a blessing to live here and be here and raise a family here and have your business here. And I think that's why this room is full, because we all see that, we all appreciate that. And I know I just love the opportunity to be here and work with all of you and to do this. And like the mayor said, Stacy and the team here at the chamber, just so phenomenal to work with in everything that we do. We were just talking about yesterday our efforts at collaboration and working together. It's just been so awesome I've been here 7 years now. I can't believe it's been that long, and hope it's a lot more as long as people keep me around. So appreciate everything that this place has done for us and our family. But I just want to give a quick update on some of the things that we're working on. Nelson did an awesome job catching up on the year, so I won't go too much year in review. I'll try to hit on what's going on right now and where we're going. And across the region, there's so much opportunity, so many good things. We're being noticed. I think is the great thing here, whether it's our local businesses that are excited to grow and do things, or other businesses from outside the area that are coming in and want to be a part of what we have. When outsiders see success, they want to be a part of it, right? If we had businesses that were fleeing from us or leaving, if we weren't having all these successes, it would be a lot harder for us to recruit new business and all the other things. And obviously people, and that's where I'll touch a lot on workforce and people. We get tired of talking about it, but there are so many good things that we're doing on that front right now that we're excited about. So just a quick few things on some activity that are going on as far as our business community. Iowa Powdercraft, a great local business here in Clear Lake that's been growing for a number of years. Just heard from them that they bought a new building here in the county, actually where Rocca moved out of, over by the Cat dealership. They're kind of landlocked here in Clear Lake. They're going to expand. They have maybe 2 operations for a little while. They got about 15 employees now. It's going to help them to grow 5 to 10 more over the next couple of years, but they got some really cool things happening there. They basically do powder coat painting, so they have contract work with a lot of businesses. Did a lot of work with the Papa John Center in their early days and ongoing, so just a cool business, good local story. 5-star co-op over here in Ventura, they're expanding, have a multi-million-dollar expansion underway as well. We actually just met with a business here in the county yesterday, Nelson, Stacy, Scott, myself, talking about the opportunity to build new here in Clear Lake. Small business, but a really cool, unique niche. I won't say too much about them beyond that, but again, just a business that sees what's happening, wants to be a part of it, wants to grow here. We actually have a really interesting project. I know Rebecca Giesel from Alliant is here. If you've heard of cryptocurrency, it's the current and new and next thing in finance, and Bitcoin, all those things. There's actually an Iowa-based company that's looking at doing crypto mining and some things like that. Really large investment, and we are one of their last two communities they're considering. That's actually looking at an area over in Mason City because they require a lot of power, and we have it right where they're looking. So we're continuing to work with Alliant and that company on some opportunities in that that are pretty unique and interesting, and be kind of a cool story to be able to tell for North Iowa to have something like that here. You've probably all seen the news at the airport. They're looking at doing a large expansion of the terminal, or actually a brand new terminal. It's really cool that we have too much and too many people going in there. They can't fit in the area over there. You can't get 50 people, and if you've ever gone through it, you can't get 50 people in that little area. So kind of by the grace of God and our federal fairy godmother, they got $17 million to work with that are helping to make that go on. But it really is a cool thing. David Sims, the manager over there, doing a great job managing through that. And I think that's going to be a big deal for us. And the cool thing with United is they've seen those numbers. There's opportunity for them to add some flights in different locations. But that's a great part of our story. Like Nelson said with McKesson, when you can say, hey, we can get you to Chicago, we can get you anywhere, and now we can do it in 45 minutes. And hopefully we can get you to another location from there. It's really a big asset for us. Some of the other projects that we've been working on for a while now, Nelson mentioned the Pritchard family. Actually, I spoke in front of this group, I don't know if it was the last one or two of them ago, so I can say some of this stuff publicly, but really cool stuff they're doing at the Team Quest building. They've got 70 employees in there now, if you can believe that, and they pulled them in from around the region. There are numerous business ventures. The things they're doing in electric vehicles right now is really cutting edge. They're at the front end of a lot of that, and they really want to be part of that next wave over the next 5, 10, 20 years. We all know that's the direction that industry is going, and they're doing some really cool things on the software and engineering side in that that could be based right out of Clear Lake, Iowa. I think that's really incredible. They really also are looking at, which I think is a great opportunity and something we've discussed in a while, and it's so cool we have them that are willing to take this on, electric vehicle charging. We are right between Minneapolis and Des Moines. We should be the hub between there, and electric vehicle charging at a large scale, again, is a great opportunity, something that they're looking at taking on. We've been having several meetings and discussions about that, how we can facilitate that and what that could look like. So big opportunity for Clear Lake and the North Iowa area. You might have seen in the news, actually, the downtown Mason City Hotel, finally seeing some progress over there. Looks like the Hyatt Place made the official announcement that they're coming, and numerous other parts of that. The official financing should be coming through, we're told, in the next couple of weeks before the end of the year. So I think, again, that gives us the opportunity for large-scale conference conventions in North Iowa that we haven't had. We added, is it 500 units over here, or 500 people, or 700 people? I forget what this one can hold. I think before that, it was hard to get 300 to 400 in a conference anywhere in North Iowa. So now we could have two major venues in North Iowa to host things, which is really exciting opportunity. On some other types of projects, industrial, we have seen huge interest in biofuels. We were at the front edge with Golden Grain, REG, with ethanol and biodiesel, and that's already about 15 to 20 years in. Been huge for our region. We now have 3 projects that have all selected our area and are in the due diligence phase and trying to make sure they can move forward. But one of these is a $300 million renewable diesel project that we've been working with now for about almost a year, probably 8 months to a year. They are finalizing option agreements on a 150-acre site in Mason City right now, and that would be about 70 jobs, averaging over $60,000 a year. So very big project, huge investment. They would do sustainable aviation fuel in addition to renewable diesel. And like we just said, electric vehicles are the future. Airplanes are never running on batteries, I don't think. So they need fuel, and if they can do that in a renewable and environmentally friendly way, like this which they believe they can produce this at a carbon neutral way, it's going to be a big deal. They actually had the first sustainable fuel flight, I think, a couple of weeks ago, if you saw in the news. So that's a huge one. Again, we could be at the forefront of that industry. We also have another company doing kind of the next wave of ethanol, and they are about a $250 million project. They also are about to close on an 80-acre site in Mason City as on the option agreement. So both of those projects have about a 9-month to 12-month due diligence phase. Once they have their site in place, and they got to go through all the engineering and all the other pre-development work. But if everything checks out like we think it will, we have some really, really big opportunities. And the synergies by having all of these kind of companies in the same area is really big. We've also actually been working with our friends up in Manly, just over the county border. They have a project. This has been in the news. They've said their name out loud. It's a company called Ready Fuels, and we've been in discussions with them as well to help out. And that's a $190 million project with 30 jobs if they can get some things on natural gas worked out. So that 3 major projects that really over the next year we're going to find out if we get, and they'd be huge. Again, and there's some synergies, there's some other spin-off kind of opportunities that would come with those that would be really big for our area and really put us on the map in that industry. So a lot of cool things on that, but that always comes back to the workforce discussion and all the different things that go on that. We've got a lot of things in the works on that as well. I want to thank Doug and the schools for being a part of a lot of the programming we do. I know here over the last week or two, they were doing mock interviews with the students. Hunter Callahan from our team leads that up. I think they spent a whole week going over doing mock interviews. Maybe some of you participated in that. We try to get local business leaders and folks involved in that. Just a cool way to get students to see what they need to do, start learning some of those skill sets they need. So that's been exciting. We're doing a ton on the marketing side. And I want to thank Stacy, the chamber. We have brought in each of the chambers, the Visit Mason City Group, tourism, ourselves, to really try to build out a program to sell North Iowa in our region and all these amazing things that are happening. And we're working with a team at Amplified Digital to do this, and it's going to be targeted marketing where we're sending stuff out to people that fit the skill sets to the jobs that we need and that we think, and based on their profiles and a lot of other things, and we've all heard about the crazy, kind of creepy marketing things that they can do now, but they're doing them, and we might as well take advantage of it. So we're going to be trying to hound people down here starting next month in various target areas and industries, and just start hitting them with our information and things that are happening, the kind of jobs that we've got, and I think we've got to do that. You all are probably feeling the crunch in your businesses, because if you're not, you're weird. There's just not enough people to fill all the jobs and opportunities that we have. So we're going to try to tell that story and do more of it and be more aggressive about it, and we'll be having more about that soon. Actually, I do want to tell you about the State of North Iowa event coming up January 13th. We're going to roll out a little bit more of it there, as well as some of the information and things and how your businesses can be involved in that, because we want to make sure that your businesses are at the front of that. We're going to tell the story broadly, but then we got to funnel it down so that those people, if they find us, they find the job that fits them. So that's going to be a big deal for us. A lot of cool things going on that. And then housing, if we do get these people, we all know the housing situation is also a big crunch. The corridor is actually in the process of starting up a housing corporation. And really the goal of that is to help drive new development, help bring in new developers and potentially develop some of our own, partnering with it'll give the city a vehicle to run some funds through and some different things that we can maybe start some subdivisions. We've had some initial conversations with some landowners, and there might be some really good ways that we can do some more market rate affordable housing that fits our market, but as well also some high quality apartments. We saw the Talon development in downtown Mason City, 130 units fill up in a couple of months, and now they have a waiting list, and we're about to build another 100 units. We don't really have a lot of good high quality, those guys have them from $700 to $1,200 apartments, and we just don't have a large scale of that in Clear Lake. So that's an area we're looking at. How do we get that here? Those young professionals, young teachers, nurses, police officers, you name it. Just a market that's hard to fit in Clear Lake right now. So a lot of things we're moving on that. I know that I'm running out of time, but a ton of things going on. Really appreciate everybody. Hope you have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll keep going.
One of the developments that kicked off in 2020 was the Clear Lake Storage Depot, and so I actually have Dana and David Albright here with us this morning. And if you've been out on 4th Avenue South, you've probably seen a lot of additional work going in out there. So David's going to give us an update on their project and what's going on.
Good morning, and thank you for the invite and having Dane and my wife here this morning. Talked about the Clear Lake Storage Depot. If you've been by, you see that we've certainly went vertical. We're excited, very excited that we should have our west building that will be for lease completed by the end of the month. So far, the leases have went very well. The northwest building that's at the corner of 12th Street and 4th, there's 12 units in there. They've remained leased for the entire year. There's actually been a waiting list on the west building. Same way we're pre-leasing those. The majority of them have been leased. The one that I think is most exciting to talk about this morning is the north building that runs parallel to 4th. That's flex space. Those units will be for sale. They're 1,000 square feet in size. They come all with private utilities. This is a new venture for my wife and I going into the storage business. One of the things that we've certainly enjoyed is the folks that have called in and have expressed interest, the needs that we're finding for this type of space. But I think what I'd like to mention most is that what Mayor Nelson was saying is the exciting things that are happening in Clear Lake is certainly what attracted my wife and I to the community recently. And then with all the exciting things that are going on in the community is what made us want to do such a project like that. It's 64 units. There'll be 5 buildings total. But truly, if it wasn't for the support of the community and the vendors that we've been using, we certainly wouldn't have been able to do what we're doing. Mayor Nelson had mentioned Yon Concrete. They've been a great supporter of us. Complete Concrete did a wonderful job. We worked through the 6th wettest October since we've been keeping track. There was many days where we really didn't think that much was going to get done. And between Larry Elwood Concrete and Complete Concrete, they're out there working in conditions that we were just absolutely surprised. Hunt Electric has been a great supporter, and Larry Hunt has done very well for us. Burtness Plumbing and Heating, they've been a great supporter and helped. But I really want to say that what we appreciated the most is Clear Lake Bank and Trust. I've worked with a lot of banks over the years, and I have to say that working with the bank the size of Clear Lake Bank and Trust and the staff has just been absolutely overwhelming. We're working on things that we haven't done before with ACH accounts and such that you probably are all familiar with that we weren't. And Clear Lake Bank and Trust has really went to bat for us. They've not only helped in financing, but they're helping us allow our business to grow and grow smoothly. In the future, we plan on completing the 2 buildings that are under construction over the next month or so, and then in the spring we will start our last 2 buildings. We call those the East Building and the South Building. So as I had mentioned, there will be a total of 64 units available. Of those 64 units, 12 units will be for sale. We certainly feel that it's a niche that with the larger storage sizes that we're offering. We're excited to see how things go in the future, and we certainly want to thank the Chamber for allowing us to be part of this exciting community and the opportunity to provide a service.
Thank you. All right, we are going to move into the rapid fire portion of our agenda. So if you happen to be, the way this will work is we'll go section by section. If you happen to be in the section, so new employee and promotions, we'll ask you to just come on over here so we can do pass the mic here pretty quickly to make sure that we give everyone enough time to make their announcements this morning. I'm looking, and the Art Center was mentioned earlier today. The Art Center has a new interim director, and that's Jessie Myers. I don't see her this morning, but she's already reached out and is looking for ways to collaborate with the chamber and the community. So we're excited to have Jessie on board. She's not a stranger to Clear Lake. She has been here for some time. Was she born and raised here? I wish Libby would. Yeah, she was. She was born and raised here, and she's been, you know, a face that you would recognize at the theater. And so we're excited to have her at the Art Center. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Josh Thompson.
Good morning. I'm Josh Thompson. I'm a business lender at Clear Lake Bank and Trust. Thank you for the shout out. I'm here today to announce Ashley Albright promotion of her to business banking officer. A little background on Ashley. She's worked at Clear Lake Bank for 10 years now, since 2011. She started as a loan processor in the business banking department. In 2017, she transitioned to a credit analyst, and then in July of this year, she was promoted to an officer. Ashley's very active in the Clear Lake Chamber First Mates group, and she volunteers for a lot of activities, so I'll let her say a few words.
Yeah, thanks. So I grew up in Ventura and moved away, went to college, and came back. I live in Garner. I have 3 young children. My husband farms, so it's just been nice to get to know people further and more face-to-face interactions than the credit analyst role. So thank you.
Hello, I'm Chad Harrison, and as much as I love the opportunity to stand up here and talk, I'm having trouble today. And so we have hired Langdon Devine as an operations manager for us, and I'm going to let him do almost all the talking here. So here you go.
Yeah, I came from Mercy Healthcare for 8 years. Chad's been talking to me for a while now, and it's easy to leave a big organization, even though that's scary for a more local, small organization, when it's an organization you trust and you use. And I've referred people to Chad, since I knew about him. So easy to join a company that's growing, that's extremely colleague focused, and just happy to meet more people in the community and really help people. It's an industry where Chad truly cares about the people he helps, so happy to join Chad and help him grow.
You were at Christmas by the Lake. This is your lion. So if your kids pictures of the lion.
I'm out of dance moves, no more.
Langdon also owns the sister to our dog, so we have dog sisters. And then Dan, I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you want to wave? Dan is on the agenda. I'm not going to have you come up, but Dan is the regional director for Youth for Christ, and we put him on the agenda without asking, but just he is new to the area, I believe, and with Youth for Christ. And I don't know if you've noticed, but Ashley Coleman has joined the Youth for Christ team. There's also another Clear Lake director whose name is slipping my mind, but they're doing a lot of good stuff with the kids, and so that's a great organization for our kids to be involved with here. Chad, do you want to come right back up? All right, we're going to move on to special updates, honors, and awards. So if you are in this section of the agenda, I'll ask for you to come on up, and it looks like Langdon's going to take the mic.
Chad's been faking this voice thing all week to get out of this. I'm sure after he leaves here, he'll be talking normal. When I started, there was no space for me, and we've hired a couple more people. So actually, we in February will be entering the Wayne's building from our current location. We're in that same little plaza there right now, but we're entering into the Wayne's building, which will allow us to grow and expand and not struggle and ask, if we hire this person, where are they going to go? So we're excited to expand into a bigger space that gives us better places to meet with our clients and have more private conversations. And then actually we just purchased a CPA firm down in Hampton, Steve Pearson CPA. He's a retiring CPA that's going to stay on. So that was as of December 1st. We expanded into Hampton, Iowa, which allows us to just help more of North Iowa. We have a lot of clients that travel past Hampton to come to us, so that would be nice that we can have locations for better serving our clients.
Hi everyone, I'm Julie Drennan and this is Corey Eberling, and we are with Apex Clean Energy, and we are representing Indigo Wind. which is a wind farm that we are in the very early stages of developing in Franklin and Cerro Gordo counties. And Apex Clean Energy is a US-based renewable energy development company. We do local offices at all of our project sites. And like any new business starting in an area, we want to be a good member of the community. So we are members of the chamber, and I'm very excited to be here. Apex has a philosophy of doing more than just establishing a wind farm, which wind farms themselves are very beneficial to communities financially. But in addition to that, we have a community grant program that we do that offers a quarterly award to grant applicants that are selected. And we also just work hard to be members of the community and make sure that we are connecting with folks in the area and getting their input on the development as well. So I'll see if Corey wants to say anything too.
Good morning. We appreciate everyone being out today. As Julie said, my name is Corey Eberling. I've lived in the Sheffield area all my life. As actually a Frank County supervisor for 16 years. So we've had 3 developments of a wind farm in Franklin County, about 500 megawatts. Well, now I get to work on the other side of the table and understand how this all works together. And Apex has been great listening to some of my concerns and how we can move a project through and be a better community member. So we do have an office in Sheffield, so if anyone wants to stop by, we're always open Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursday mornings from 8:30 to 12:30. Actually, we'll have coffee and donuts on Wednesday mornings for you, so if you want to stop by anytime. We're at 209 Gilman Street, so we're just on the south side of Main Street in Sheffield. So I've worked with many individuals in the area. Chad and I worked on NICOG, some development plans. Chris and I worked on different boards in the area, so a lot of similar faces. One thing that we always have to keep in mind that we shouldn't just look on just one particular entity in the community. We need to look at the community. And a couple years ago, I was at a conference that actually, they said we shouldn't be running out on each other. We should be propping up each other and say, hey, look, Sheffield, we have Mason City, we have Clear Lake, we have Hampton around us, great spots to raise a family. So we always need to keep that in mind. Let's all work together. But yes, Julie said we are community-based. We actually gave our first community grant to the Westport Food Pantry last week, $2,500. We've already put that to use. They had some problems with their cooler system. So we will be continuing to do that. So you can always go on our website, indigowindpower.com, and look at our community grant program. Thank you very much. Have a great morning.
Good morning. My name is Amy Kern. I work in Human Resources at Clear Lake Bank and Trust. And this morning I get to talk about a new award that Clear Lake Bank and Trust was awarded this fall. It's the Northern Iowa Employer of Choice Award. And it was a new award developed by the Globe Gazette. Earlier this year, they asked for local area citizens to tell them about their employers and some of the great things about their employers. And our employees stepped up and nominated Clear Lake Bank and Trust, and we were notified this fall that we were one of a couple of businesses in Clear Lake, including One Vision, so shout out to One Vision. I think there were 16 employers in total in the area, and it's always great to hear from employees the things that they love about working for us, and kind of fun to get this award. So, thank you.
Good morning. I wasn't on the agenda, but I figured you might be interested in knowing. I'm with Rebecca with Alliant Energy. Is with the activities that happened Friday evening. Excuse me, what's today? Wednesday evening from the storm. And my days are all mixed up because we've been working a lot of hours and it was a long night. I just wanted to give you some details on where we're at with that. Thursday morning early, we had over 78,000 people without power. Majority of those were in northern Iowa. In Clear Lake area, we have now restored almost everyone except for about 39, and those are located, and I think Mayor mentioned it earlier, on 27th Avenue. As the crews are now arriving across the state, there was also a lot of damage in Decorah. They've been moving from east to west. We have more crews arriving today. So we will hopefully have majority of those 39 customers up within 24 hours. So I hope you didn't come here today to get warm and have some lights. But we are working aggressively on that. Our teams have been working 24/7 since the storm came in Wednesday evening. But we just wanted to give you an update on that. We really appreciate your support. And again, with all that, we've had no injuries. That's the best thing about that. No deaths with anyone across the state of Iowa. So we were blessed with that. We expected a derecho type of activity, and so really God granted us really a minor storm compared to what we thought was going to come in and get us. So with that, we're aggressively working, and we really appreciate your support. Thank you.
All right, I am going to go ahead and invite our new member who is here today to come and introduce themselves. And then if you are in the events and things of interest section, you can go ahead and come on up right now too. While everyone's coming up, just piggybacking a little bit off of what Mayor said in regard to lake preservation and the importance of lake preservation. The Iowa State University does a study every 5 years, I believe 4 or 5 years, on the impact of water quality and lakes, the economic impact to different regions. And so they released their 2019 findings actually in November, and the 2019 findings showed that Clear Lake was the #1 single day trip destination. And you know, if people perceived our lake to be dirty and gross, they wouldn't be coming to Clear Lake for their single day trips. And they estimated the impact of those day trips were about 500,000 day trips and an economic impact of $86 million. So I think it's important for us to continue to focus on lake quality, water quality. If you're not a member of the Association for the Preservation of Clear Lake, you should be. We are all community members, and that's such an important organization to our community, both for us recreationally, but also economically as well. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Katie here. She is a new member of our chamber.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to use the podium because this is where I'm used to standing. We are from Mojo Productions. My husband is not an early bird, so he sent me. We have been in business since about 1999. Currently this morning, I'm kind of wondering why we weren't chamber members here a long time ago. We actually are members of 9 different chambers in North Iowa, and I have to say that you guys are like top notch. I don't know that any other chamber that we work with does this kind of thing, so I appreciate all of you guys. I was actually expecting there to be like 10 people here, so this is a little more than I was expecting, which is awesome because you guys actually come out, you help each other out, you talk about businesses, and it's nice to get the word out. So kind of thinking, what do we bring to the group? We're kind of a specialized group. We own a DJ business. We DJ about 200 weddings a year. However, we spend almost all of our summer right in your town. So we work with a lot of different businesses in town, not just doing weddings, of course. We actually do a lot of company events. We are going to be working with Kingland this coming year. We've worked with McKesson. We spend a lot of time at the Surf Ballroom. And oddly enough, because I talk in a microphone for a living, I'm actually nervous because I'm not used to people actually staring at me and listening to what I'm saying. So I apologize if I look like I'm really nervous up here. But I guess what we bring to the group is we understand how big community plays a part in businesses. We are definitely a small business. We have about 12 employees, but we understand the importance of community helping community. So I guess the beautiful part about us is we get to talk to a lot of people in the early planning phases of their wedding, and a lot of times they're looking for venues. So we spend a lot of time in this room. I'm usually up there. We spend a lot of time out at Diamond Oak, and probably most of our summer out there. And we have a lot of weddings coming up at the new place that you guys are. I believe, did you say it has not opened yet, or it is just opened up? Okay. Well, we will be spending a lot of time there as well. So I'm sure that I probably have seen a lot of you in passing at different places. I actually personally do a lot of business with Clear Lake Bank and Trust myself, so I'm kind of a huge fan of you guys out there. So thank you guys for everything you do. And I know she's gonna kill me. We were actually brought to Clear Lake Chamber.
Ashley.
Yes, Ashley is one of our former brides, and she is plastered all over our website and posters, and so I want to personally thank Ashley for being very wonderful to work with. Like I said, I work with a lot of different chambers. Her response to every silly question that I've had so far is very immediate, very helpful, and thank you guys so much for having me here today.
Good morning. I'm Becky Dornbush. I'm president of Central Gardens, and we are a nonprofit, and we do appreciate all of your support for everything. Our goal this year is working on marketing to North Iowa. We are Central Gardens of North Iowa, and I have Joni Frederick here, our development director, and we've been working on a large grant to accomplish this.
Thanks, Becky, and thanks, Mayor Crabb, for the shout out to Central Gardens in North Iowa earlier. That was very, very kind of you. Central Gardens in North Iowa is really a gem of North Iowa, and to promote more of the North Iowa aspect of our organization, we sent out a mailer not too long ago. So if you live in Clear Lake, Ventura, Sheffield, Forest City, or Garner, you would have received this, and there's one on your tables as well. So we do a lot of events every year. Most of them are free. This year we offered some 70 events that were free of charge to the public, and we get thousands of people. In fact, we had 20,000 visitors this year to Central Gardens. So we really want to promote our events, and to do that, on this card, if you scan the QR code, it takes you to a sign-up form to get notifications of the events that we have coming up. Now, there isn't anything going on right now until May, but you want to be the first to know, so go ahead and sign up, and we'll get information to you as it's available, starting probably in April, so you can get your summer plans going. Work is well underway for the 2022 season. You're going to be excited to see what we have in store, so we hope that you'll come and visit us and sign up.
Good morning. My name is Sandy Christ, and I am here to share a little story with you, a little background story, but you know that this room embodies so much of what is good about Clear Lake. Where else do you get people to turn out in these numbers at 7:30 in the morning? Yeah, I could hardly believe how full the room was. But at any rate, I'm here representing IFCA, Interfaith Fellowship for Community Action. This group has existed in Clear Lake for longer than a lot of you have been alive. In 1971, the Ministerial Association of this area of churches decided to create a new organization that would involve pastors, lay people, youth, people of the community, to create a conversation about things that are important with the values that this community represents. And so as we have moved forward, we have, at least since 1993, been providing community meals to bring people together. Last year we didn't have any. The Thanksgiving meal didn't happen, the Christmas meal didn't happen. This year the Thanksgiving meal didn't happen. It's such a great opportunity to bring people together from all different faiths and share that which we all value together, okay? But this year it was St. Patrick's turn to provide the Christmas dinner, and I said we will have a Christmas dinner. But you can't come to our church and sit down and have a meal. You have to drive through. You can make a reservation to have someone deliver a meal to you if you want. You know, we don't have Meals on Wheels anymore in this community. And there are, you know, people out there who need to have someone deliver them a meal. So would you please take the responsibility on your table? There is at least one of these, and I have some additional if you want. Seriously, if you know one person who would like to have a meal delivered, they don't have to qualify any other way than just would like to have a meal delivered. There's a number at the bottom of the sheet, a telephone number. It says it's a Minnesota phone number, so you'll have to use a cell phone, I guess, unless you want to pay for it. But you will call and talk to Julia, and she will get all the information from you, and about a little after 11:30 on Christmas Day, someone will deliver a meal to that person. The menu is on here too. It's really kind of interesting. It's not a usual Christmas meal because we're combining some nice Corbett ham with gourmet macaroni and cheese, a broccoli slaw, a homemade dinner roll, and some Christmas cookies. So it'll look a little different, but it'll be happy. If you want a meal on Christmas Day, and you're tired of cooking and all the celebrating and everything that's going on, drive through at St. Patrick's. We'll start delivering meals at 11:30, and then a little after 12, we'll start opening up for drive-through. The word needs to get out. We didn't decide to do this until late, so getting information out to people has been slow, but I look around this room, you folks have a lot of connections. If you do belong to a church in Clear Lake, check with them to see what information they have and if they're getting the word out to their folks. And so we need a lot of help to make this happen. I have a lot of volunteers already, can always use more. And I would hope that you would, if you do belong to a church in Clear Lake, that you would encourage your pastor to be a part of this group, an active person. I would also encourage you to consider joining us. Carrying on the conversation about the values we hold together is a really important part of being a citizen in this community. I do have a few little pink brochures if you know nothing about what IFCA is and would care to take about 10 minutes to learn more. I'd be happy to share one of these with you. Thank you for your attention.
Good morning. I'm Angie with United Way of North Central Iowa, and riding on Mayor Crabb's positivity coattails, I want to share really quickly something that we did yesterday. We got motivated in the morning and contacted emergency management in Floyd and the schools, and we got a list of items that they really needed of immediate attention. And so we started calling around our area stores, and we got some really amazing response. Jen, our CEO, was just excited to fill her van, and then we realized very quickly that it outgrew her van's capability. So we reached out to Century 21. They lent us their U-Haul, and we packed it with water, snacks, gloves, hats, scarves, socks, and we went down to the high school in Marble Rock where they're staging kind of a distribution of emergency supplies and dropped all that off, so it was really awesome. We had a great day yesterday with that. Yeah, thank you. It was exciting. I just wanted to mention really quickly that we're in the tail end of our campaign 2021, and so if you haven't donated, you can still donate towards that on our website. If you just go on to UnitedWayNCI.org, there's a big donate button, and you can do that. Some of your businesses are still running campaigns, and that's totally fine, and we appreciate those greatly too. And then one other thing I just wanted to mention really quickly, we are trying to bring in the Dolly Parton Imagination Library to this area in north central Iowa, and we're really excited because we wanted $35,000 was our goal for that, to be able to launch the program and comfortably run it for 3 years. And we're at $22,000, so we're really stoked about that. We're going to be doing some fundraising at the beginning of the year for that, and so we're just really excited for that program. It's $30 a child for the year, and they get from 0 to 5 years, they get a book a month, along with instructions for their caregiver, caretaker, parent to be able to read the book with them, so it's not just like a random book that just shows up. And so I have a credit card reader here today. If anybody wants to sponsor a child, it's just $30. And I encourage you to go onto our website. You can donate and put a note on there that you want it to go to the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. So that's all I just wanted to say. Campaign, please give if you haven't already given, and sponsor a kid for $30. Thank you.
So I'm Kelly O'Rourke and Candy Christians with the Nyack Papa John Center, and I feel like we were just here promoting our fall venture school cohort, but we're going to talk about our spring one. One thing before I hand it over to Candy is if you have clubs or organizations that would like speakers, we're happy to come and speak on behalf of a lot of the programming that we do at the Papa John Center. A lot of people don't know all the different programs that we have, the youth programs, and the programs for new business starts. So if you ever just reach out to us and we can set up a time to come and speak. So I'm going to hand this over to Candy to promote the Spring Venture School.
Thanks, Kelly. And good morning, and happy holidays to all of you. This will be my last chance to get to tell you that. So our Spring Venture School starts January 27th with an orientation. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Venture School is the University of Iowa developed program that we run at the Nyack Papa John Center twice a year, spring and fall. And it's the intended audience is people who are looking to start their own business. It can be retail, Main Street, technology-based, manufacturing-based. We've had all different types that come through. Stacy's graciously been a judge many times. They can win money at the end of the program, but it's a 7-week business model canvas, lean startup methodology. And to quote a great leader in Clear Lake, we often use the same phrase, trust the process. It's not an easy process. It's different from what people are used to, but they really have to dig in and do some discovery, figure out what it is their customers want, need, and will pay for. And it's January 27th orientation, 6 weeks on Zoom. We have a break for spring break in there, but then the final night is they get to do presentations, and we give away $5,000 in cash that the University of Iowa provides for prize money for us. So it's a great program. We generally fill the class up, but at the popjohncenter.com you can register or get more information. So don't delay, or if you know someone who's thinking of starting a business, tell them not to delay in applying, because we always have to turn people away. And we're the only cohort in the entire state of Iowa that has to turn people away. So thank you to you guys too.
And we'll mention about mentors, like if anybody is interested. We have some great mentors, but we call them coaches, I guess now. We pivoted. But we don't want to wear them out either, because we do have some great people. But if you're ever interested in helping coach the new ventures, contact us as well. So thanks. Merry Christmas.
I
think the Papa John Center is one of the most unsung resources that we have in North Iowa. I mean, seriously, between the new business coaching that they do, and I mean, if you have an existing business with questions, they have the Small Business Development Center right in-house too, so they offer a lot of free resources, some paid resources, but mostly free. So any questions or that kind of thing, if you're trying to grow, what have you, they're an awesome resource. So I'm not Libby. Libby was under the weather this morning, but she just wanted to invite you all to our visitor guide launch party, which is January 13th. It is a business after hours style event. It will be at Taft. It'll start at 4:30, and we will do the great visitor guide uncovering at 5:30. So we invite you to Taft on the 13th. I know everyone asks, oh, is it nice? Is it a quiet time at the chamber? Really, there is no quiet time. We have been working really hard on the visitor guide, and it has some great quality content, and the cover is another just beautiful picture of something in Clear Lake. So can't wait to share it with you guys. Thank you so much for coming. I just echo what everyone has said in terms of the positive momentum. I know that I'm very grateful for the support that we receive. A rising tide lifts all boats, right? We're not competing against one another. We're working together to raise the entire community to a higher level. So with that, thank you so much. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and hopefully we'll see you all at our annual meeting on January 25th.